First off, you're going to put 1/4 of a cup of lukewarm water and 1 packet of active dry yeast into a large mixing bowl. You're going to whisk it until it's nice and completely mixed. You're going to let it sit for a few minutes. If it looks nice and foamy, that means that your yeast is good. So you will put that off to the side. Then you are going to put another 1 1/4 cup of warm water. Into that mixture. Along with your egg yolks, honey, and olive oil. So we've got 3 egg yolks. Your extra virgin olive oil. One whole egg. Salt. And then you're going to whisk all of these together to get nice and smooth. And put your sugar in. Some people put the sugar in with the yeast. I don't. Next goes in the honey. Make sure that's all nice and mixed. Going to put, you can put anywhere from 4 1/2 to 5 cups of flour in. It's personal preference. I put anywhere from 4 to 4 1/2 usually. You want to put it in by the 1/2 cupfuls. While you're putting the flour in, you want to put a saucepan full of water on the stove and bring that to a boil while you're putting the flour in the dough. And you just keep adding the flour and stirring it until it gets to where you can't stir it anymore, and then you have to use your hands. Once all your flour's in, you're going to take it and you're going to make sure it's all very well mixed. Your hands are going to get really, really sticky. When it's all completely mixed, it's going to look like this. It's going to be very sticky. You want to form it to a ball as best as possible. And now it's ready to raise. Alright, you're going to coat your bowl with some extra virgin olive oil. You're going to make sure that it's completely greased all the way around. You're going to take your bread ball and you're going to put it in. You're going to move it over. and then form it to where it looks into a little bit of a nicer ball. It's not as goopy now because it's got the oil on it. I like to take a little bit, just enough to coat your hands really, and just kind of go over it like this. Alright, now the next part is you're going to take a thinner dish towel, like so. You're going to have it slightly damp. You're going to cover it. Once your bowl is covered, you're going to stick it in the oven, like so. Your oven is not going to be on at this point. You're going to put it in the middle of your oven. Then you're going to take the pan of boiling water that you have had on your stove top. You're going to set directly underneath. What this is going to do once you close the oven door is it's going to create a warm, moist environment so your bread can raise. You're going to raise the bread for 1 hour, and then take it out and punch it down and repeat the process again. You're going to put it back in with the warm water and let it rise for 1 more hour. Alright, after it's rose for 1 hour the first time, you're going to pull it out. Take the top off. It's going to look just like that. And you're just going to beat it down. Shape it back into a ball. It's going to be a little sticky. Put it back like that. Recover. Your oven should still be nice and warm. And put it in for 1 more hour. Alright, so the challah has now been in the oven twice, 1 hour each time. This is the second time, so we're going to take it out. Remove the towel. As you can see, we're all nice and big. We're going to punch it down. You want to make sure that you get all the air pockets out. Alright, now we're going to pull it out of the bowl. And we're going to put it on a lightly floured surface. Just spread a little bit of flour out on your countertop or cutting board, whichever you prefer. And get it nice and coated. We'll get this ready to be cut into the pieces to braid. Alright, now we're going to take a large knife and cut the ball of dough in half so we can make 2 braided challahs. You're supposed to have 2 loaves on your table on Friday nights, so this is how we do that. Okay, starting with your half of your original dough, you're going to roll it into a log form. And then you're going to cut, if you want a 3-strand challah, which is what we're going to make, you would cut it into 3 equal parts. So you don't have one braid strip longer than the other. So that's how you would do that. You would set these 2 off to the side. Put a little extra flour down. You're going to use a rolling pin for this next part. You want to make sure that your rolling pin is lightly coated in flour. And you're going to roll out much like you would do like a pie crust. This gets all the air pockets out as possible. And you don't want it to be real thick as you're rolling it out, but you don't want it super thin either. You want it kind of like that. Next step is you're going to take the dough and you're going to start rolling it towards you, like so. Where you get it where it looks like one nice long roll. You're going to take it between your hands and roll it to where you get a strip, and then taper the edges as you roll. Your finished strand is going to look something like that. It looks kind of ugly now, but don't worry, it'll look better once it's all done. Alright, now we have our 3 strands, so now we're ready to braid. So you're going to have, all 3 of your strands should be about the same length. If one's just a little bit shorter than the other or longer than the others, that's fine. You're going to take your center, and you're going to take this one and cross over, and then this one, and then you're just going to go back and forth until you get to the end. You're going to pinch these together, okay, and then you're going to take it, flip it over, and continue the braid. Once you've reached your end, you're going to flip them over like so, so it's all nice and pretty. Make sure all your sides are together. You're going to lift it up. And place it on a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet. Alright, now this is where you're going to apply your egg wash. Some don't put it on until you actually go to bake it. I like to put a coat on while the braid actually rises. I think it gives it a more evenly browned look for when it's all finished. Okay, your egg wash is going to be 1 whole egg, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of water all mixed together. You're going to take it and apply it with a pastry brush. And you just want to make sure that it's all coated all over the bread. Once it's all completely covered, you would go ahead and place it back in the oven to let this part rise for about anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. Basically, you'll know it's ready to be baked when you can take your finger and press in, and instead of it bouncing back up like it's doing here, it'll stay indented in the corner, and then it's ready to be baked. Alright, the first one I showed you of cutting it was for a 3-strand challah bread. This is for a 4-strand. So same as with the third, you're just going to cut 4 equal parts. Again, if one strand is longer than the other or shorter, it's no big deal. Okay, with the 4th strand, what you're going to do is you're going to bring it together at the top like so, and you're going to take it and you're going to lace it. And you're just going to keep doing it like so. Make sure it's tight so you don't have any gaps that you don't want in there. When you're done, you'll pinch the edge and turn it over. And then over at this end, you're going to bring these in like so. And then pinch them and bring them in, to where you have a loaf that looks just like that. Alright, after it baked for about 40 minutes, this is the finished product. On the left is the 3-strand challah bread that we braided, and on the right is the 4th strand.